All right, let's go to this now. The Road Traffic Infringement Agency has temporarily lifted the order blocking drivers from renewing their license discs and cards. And of course, we'll find out what this means now, as Iman will have this conversation with Monde Mkalipi, who's the spokesperson for the RTIA.
Thanks, Bongiwe. Monde, good evening to you and welcome to the program. I think for a lot of motorists who found themselves in the licensing queue, having to be sent back to go and settle, their account with RTIA, this would be heartening news. And I guess the important question is why you've made this decision.
Good evening, Iman. Thank you very much for the opportunity to clarify this matter because it has been out for some time. And I think it's important that we make it known to the road users that we have arrived at this decision after we have received a few concerns from some of the road users. And we have decided that, well, let us lift the enforcement orders on the infringement notices for some time while we are doing this investigation, because we have been able to pick up that there has been some confusion in terms of time that is prescribed in terms of when can enforcement orders be placed, or when can we put enforcement orders on the infringement notice that have been committed by the infringers. So we have embarked on that process now to say, well, let us lift this up until we have completed the process of internal investigation, while at the same time we're encouraging road users to really take advantage of the outdoor elective options, especially the option to apply for the revocation of the enforcement orders. Because once we have completed our investigation, we still don't know what outcomes that it is going to provide to us, and then we'll be able to communicate that to the road users and also the way forward.
This sounds like a mammoth task, and I'm glad for the opportunity to be able to clarify things for the public. This concept of the revocation of enforcement, is the onus on the road user or the motorist, whom it affects, to dispute that and to come to RTIA, or will they be notified? How will that process practically work?
Yes, the RTIA process, Imani, there's a lot of that happens before the enforcement order is placed. You will recall that in terms of the RTIA process, we're talking about the first 32 days in which the road user is expected to take advantage of a number of elective options, including lodging a dispute or even paying 50% of the full amount, which is a discount that is contained in the RTIA Act. Then if the first 32 days lapse and then the infringer hasn't come forward, and then he or she is given another 32 days, and then if another 32 days comes to an end and then the person hasn't come forward, and then the road user is going to be an enforcement order that is placed. And during that time, then the road user will be expected to come forward and pay, perhaps dispute that type of an enforcement order. So there's quite a lot that happens. So the onus is mainly on the infringer or the road user to see under what circumstances was perhaps the infringement notice given to him or her. And then if he or she is unhappy with the circumstances under which he got the infringement notice, then he can come forward and dispute that. The same applies after the second 32 days, because the RTIA waits for the second 32 days to lapse. And then after that, any time after that, then the RTIA can decide to place an enforcement order, thus blocking the infringer from doing any transaction on the notice.
My observation is, Monde, that a lot of people only find out about this when they're at a roadblock or when they're going to renew their licenses. So let's help the public here. What is the responsibility of a road user in terms of ensuring they're contactable on the right address, the right phone numbers? Is it their duty to let RTIA know, and if so, how do they do that?
Yes, there is a system. Every time an infringement notice is given, especially if it is given by hand, the infringer is expected to update his or her details on the system. And we also have a website where they can go and update their details. So the onus is mainly on the infringer to keep on checking on the website, or even have the call center where they can call and update their details. So it's important that we keep on checking if there are any auto infringements against our name, so that we have them cleared. Yeah. Because we don't know when we are going to come across a situation where perhaps we are stopped on the road, especially on the areas where Arto is operational, which is Joburg and Tshwane. We don't know when we're going to be stopped on the road and checked if we've got any Arto infringement. So we do have access points as the Road Traffic Infringement Agency, where road users on a regular basis, we even run social media campaigns to encourage road users to check their details on the native, so that they are not caught up by surprise at any point.
Monde, I need a breath of an answer to my final question, because we're out of time, is how long is this going to be in place while you figure stuff out? Sounds quite complex.
Yes, we have started, Iman, on the process of the investigation. We have conducted our colleagues, the Road Traffic Management Corporation, who are responsible for the storing, since this is the national key point. All the information is stored there by their systems. We have started already pulling the data, making a determination as to when certain infringements were committed, when did we post the infringements to some of the road users. So that process is underway. So we won't be able to give a definite time as to when we are going to complete it, because as you say, there's a lot of data that is there that we are busy perusing at the moment.
All right, but as a service to the public, we will hear from you and share whatever you have to say with those who are directly affected. Thank you for your time. Monde Mkhaliphi, who's the spokesperson for the Road Traffic Infringement Agency.